YouTube, it's your Uncle Marco. Now, we have Nicki Minaj's husband, Kenneth Petty, in our crosshairs today. Now, his alleged victim from back in the day decided to come out and speak on the situation and how it happened back in the day. And also, she tells us why she's choosing to do it now out of all times. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit down her audio into the key points I thought that stood out the most. Then I'm going to go ahead and listen to that. Then I'm going to come back with my commentary. But I'm also going to link the unedited audio in the description if you want to go ahead and listen to that as well. So anyway, let's get to it.
On this day, I went to the bus stop and Kenny was there at the bus stop. He asked me where I was going. I said I was going to school. I asked him where he was going. He said he was going to school. I said, you're lying, because I never knew Kenny to go to school. Kenny was a bum. He was a street guy. He was a dude that was always standing on a street corner. He was hanging out with street dudes. That's what I knew him for. I knew him as a street drug dealer. Unfortunately, this day ended up really bad because he forced me into his home. He violated me. And granted, this was only 3 blocks away from my house. I chose not to go home because I figured if I went home, nothing would get done. And I knew the kind of friends that Kenny hung out with, and I felt like they would feel that they could do the same. So instead, I ran to school. My clothes was messed up. My hair was messed up. I had a cut on my face and I had a cut on my stomach. And I told the officers there at the school what had just happened. They called for more police. They put me in a police van. They asked me if I could show them the location where it happened. I took them to the location, which happened to be his house. I did not know it was his house at the time. I had never been to his house. Kenny was still there. He got arrested. They took me to the hospital. I had to do a rape kit and everything. They took my clothes. They took everything from me and put it in a paper bag, and they seized it. When I got home, I was told, sorry you got raped, but you should have screamed. Nicki made a post on her page stating that we was in a relationship. He was 15, I was 16, and it was because of my mother, the reason why charges was pressed. That is a lie. I never lived with my mother. I wasn't raised with my mother. Even though my mother was a part of my life, she wasn't a part of my life in that way. That is false. Kenny and I were both 16 at the time. We were never in a relationship. And I spoke about that. In March of 2020, I got a call from a mutual friend of Kenneth and my brother. And he said that he could connect me to them and make this go away. And when he said he could connect me to them, meaning Nicki and Kenny, and when he said he could make this go away, I thought the agreement was going to be, if I don't speak to anybody about them, they wouldn't speak to anybody about me. End of story. Well, that's not what happened. What happened was this mutual person offered me $20,000 to write a letter stating that I lied about what I did. I lied about Kenny assaulting me. And I didn't want to do it. I got a phone call from Nicki Minaj herself saying that she got word that I was willing to help them out in this situation because, Kenny had got arrested for not registering in the state of California on state charges, and then he got out, and then federal charges were brought up on him. So she said that she could send her publicist, Joe, out to where I was living at the time. I have since moved multiple times since then, but that she can send Joe out her publicist Joe out to meet with me and talk with me about the situation. After that phone call with Nicki, the only contact I had was from street goons. I think she has somebody in her camp called Ganks. He was contacting family members. There was a lot of numbers as far as money being offered, but it was never offered from Nicki, and it was never offered from Kenny personally. It was just people speaking on behalf of Kenny. I honestly, truly do not care what happens between Nicki and whoever she chooses to marry or be with. If they're happy, I want them to be happy. I just want them to leave me alone. I want his lawyers to stop calling me. I want people to stop harassing me. I have since heard that that because I chose not to take the money that they offered, that they are offering that money for my head. I have no true knowledge of how real this is, but I was offered to be put in witness protection, but that would mean that I would be away from all of my family and my children, and I chose not to do that.
All right, y'all. So there you have it. You know what I mean? Now, here's my thoughts on it. She never really said how she got from the bus stop to Petty's house. Was he dragging her from the bus stop to his house while she was kicking and screaming? Or was it a situation where he gamed her up early in the morning? He gamed her up at the bus stop, told her, kick it with him, chill with him today, or this morning, go to school late, or don't go to school at all. Was it one of those situations? Then when she got there, things got a little out of hand? Was it one of those? Or was it a situation that we know happens a lot, where, especially at that young age, where a woman has sex with someone and then she regrets it at the end, then it turns from consensual to non-consensual after the fact. We all know we can't act like that doesn't happen. It happens often. So, especially at that young age. So, we don't know, as far as that's concerned. But she has a believable story, if you ask me. You know what I mean? It sounds like all facts. You know what I mean? So, anyway, let's get into the whole, offer that she got from Nicki. Well, before we get into that, Nicki Minaj, what Nicki Minaj put out there, Nicki Minaj just reiterating what was told to her. Let's be honest. You think Petty, if he did, do that to her, is he going to sit there and say, yeah, I took it. I held her down for... No, it's no way on planet Earth he's going to tell his wife, Nicki Minaj, that. She would look at him like a monster. See what I'm saying? She was just reiterating to the world what was told to her. Just turns out to be all lies. You know what I'm saying? It happens. You know what I mean? Men lie, women lie. Numbers don't. Speaking of numbers, let's talk about that. 20,000? Come on. What is $20,000? Let's put things into perspective. If she's living in New York, I know her rent/mortgage is way more than that. But let's be modest with it. Let's just say it's $1,000 a month. $1,000 a month times 12 is 12,000. Plus whatever bill she got, that is gone within a year. What can she do with 20 racks? That's nothing. That don't even make sense to me. If you wanted to really hit her with something cash, she's still in the hood. I think she's still in the hood. If you want to hit her with something cash, 50,000 to 100,000 is more realistic. See what I'm saying? That make more sense. That way she know, hey, my bills is paid for the next 2 years. I don't have to worry about my bills, and I got a little left over for whatever I need to do. See what I'm saying? That's more realistic. But 20 racks? No. See what I'm saying? But we also got to take into consideration that she lives in the social media era. This is not the 80s, this is not the 90s, this is not the 2000s, it's the social media. Right now, she is a victim. She's considered a victim. So people are really holding back her identity. If she's no longer a victim, then people are prone to put her identity out there. And when her identity is out there, people are going to, wild out on her. You know what I mean? Them barbs going to be bugging. You're a lying this, you're a lying that. Not only to her, but to her kids. If she got to deal with that backlash, that potential backlash that will come after she recants her statement, you got to triple that. You got to go 250, 300,000. See what I'm saying? But 20,000, come on, that's too low. I don't even think that's coming from Nicki. That might be coming from Petty. That sounds like the type of money he got. You know what I mean? For Nicki. But also, Nicki might be looking at it, if it is coming from her, like, this man ain't worth more than 20 racks. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like this guy is a CEO of a company or anything like that. He's not no one that's bringing in millions a year. You know what I'm saying? She's the cash cow, not him. So to Nicki, she might be like, hey man, just go do that time. Plus he already been in prison multiple times, so that's really nothing for him. You know what I mean? He could do that time, you know how many years it is. So I hope he don't have to do it. I hope they work it out, but I don't know, man. But bottom line, at the end of the day, you already know who fault this is. His. Why you just saying register as a sex offender in Cali? Like, that don't make sense to me. That makes zero sense to me. Soon as you touch down in Cali, that should have been, and you know you moving in with Nicki, that should have been one of the first things you did. This is his own fault, man. You made your bed, now sleep. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You know what I mean? So, the link is going to be in the bio for the complete audio. I cut it down so the video wouldn't be too long. You know what I mean? You could go ahead and listen to it. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you think. You think she's telling the truth, or you think she's lying? You think Petty never did anything of that nature? You think they was really in a relationship? Just let me know. Anyway, it's your Uncle Marco. I'm out.